Dirty Heads and Lay Me Down on Rockin' a 5-3. It's 80. This is Jared from Dirty Heads, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, we are privileged that you're joining us on the phone, not only to talk about your upcoming appearance at KAABOO, but also it seems apropos that Dirty Heads are calling into the show on April 20th. Are you having a good one so far?
We're highly enjoying our day.
You know, I was just like, hey, today is 420, or as Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg, and the guys in the Dirty Heads call it, Monday, just any given Monday.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is funny. It's 420, bro, 420. It's like, well, just kind of smoke pot all the time.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's fun. You know, it's becoming a thing. It's like St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, do you find sort of like April 20th for the rest of the world is sort of amateur hour, like St. Patrick's Day is like people getting drunk and vomiting in the streets because they don't know what they're doing? Would you say that's the same for you today?
Yeah, everybody's just passed out already.
Yeah.
Everybody called in. Like, you know, all the bosses, like, got a call yesterday, like, hey, I can't come into work tomorrow. And he's like, oh, yeah? I foresee that I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, somehow I know my glaucoma is going to be playing up.
Yeah, but happy 420 to everybody. I hope everybody's having a good time.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, because like I don't celebrate 420 in the traditional way, but one thing that I do find very interesting is the fact that right around 5 p.m. on the 20th of April, some very creative and oftentimes delicious recipe ideas are born. I had a friend in high school who came up with this idea of putting peanut butter and brown sugar and cinnamon on a piece of white bread, balling it up and putting it in the microwave for 15 seconds, and that is delicious and something I still eat to this day. Any recipe ideas?
Yeah, this sounds really weird, but I think we are in New York, and we figured out that, just obliterated, I found out that sriracha and honey on pepperoni pizza is life-changing.
Dude.
It's life-changing.
I don't know if it comes from that, but like Pizza Hut now do that. They have a honey sriracha drizzle that they put on pizzas now.
Oh, my God. This was like a year ago. I had no idea. They stole that from us. We should have patented that. Yeah, but there was honey and sriracha on the table for some reason, and I'm like, yeah, I like sauces. We put it on. It was so good.
Yeah, I have to believe that some people at large restaurant chains might have had the munchies when they came up with things like that. And then also, like, Starbucks have this new, what is it called? They've got a new s'mores latte or frappuccino or something like that. I was like, clearly something that was invented under the influence of something combustible.
Yeah, all those Taco Bell guys.
Well, I don't want to dwell on this too much because A, I want to keep my job, and B, it distracts from the fact that you guys are an absolutely unbelievably, incredibly, amazingly talented group of musicians. If you've never seen Dirty Heads before live, if you get an opportunity to, you should take it, and you're going to get an opportunity to at KAABOO in Del Mar. Is that right?
That is correct, and I appreciate that.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's something about your show where I've seen other bands do backflips and set themselves on fire and spin on their heads, and I'm a big fan of that sort of show. But you guys sort of like, it's weird. You just kind of stand there and play and do your thing, and people are so caught up in it. It's almost like they're crawling over each other to get closer to the stage, and it's just such a good vibe and such fantastic musicianship. But that sort of like reaction that you get, it's weird. It's almost more valuable because it's kind of, there's an X factor in it. You couldn't put your finger on exactly why it is, but why do you think people react so strongly to your music?
I'm not sure, man, but I really appreciate that. We were just talking about that the other day. Like, I'm not really, like, as one of the front men in the band, you know, it's your job to kind of, I wouldn't say control the crowd, but, you know, you're kind of emceeing it up there and master of ceremony, and, you know, you want people to have a good time. You do some callbacks. You can make people clap, you know, do some call and response things, do some crowd participation things, which I think are really effective. But, like, I'm just not really a big fan of, like, hopping in the crowd and, like, standing on your fans and, like, having them hold you up and, like, kicking, like, little girls in the head, and it's just, like, this mayhem where you're doing, like, these kind of gimmicky things. And it's not like I don't say put your hands up and things like that. I'm very guilty. But, like, you know, things where you're just crowd surfing, you're kind of just kicking everybody, like, walking on your fans. To me, it's just very, like, look at me, I don't know. I get a weird vibe of, like, I'm better than you. I'm going to go jump out in the crowd and stand up on all of you and, like, walk across your heads and things. I think it's a little disrespectful first, and at the same time it's like, well, there's a lull in the show. Let me jump in the crowd.
Right.
And it's like, well, we look at it as if there's a lull in the show, maybe we should look at that song. Maybe we should figure out something we should do musically or something that we can throw in, because it's about the music and the songs and what we're playing. So if there's something that's not working, we'll go back in and rework it in rehearsal or in the studio, to where at the end of the day, we want our music to be the main thing that is getting everybody excited and happy, rather than us pulling some tricks. I'm not putting anybody down. That's me. I'm not putting any bands down that do that. Just us and me personally. We just like our music to speak for itself, and I think maybe the vibe the vibe and the message that we've tried to build and get across from day one, I think might be the reason why people enjoy our music. We've kind of stuck to something. We do have a message. We do have a vibe, and I think when like-minded people get together, it's a good time. And the bottom line is people work really hard for the money to pay for those tickets. So when they come to our show, it really means a lot. So we put everything out into every show that we can do. Without our fans, we couldn't be who we are.
Absolutely, and I would agree with you. I would say that your gimmick is that you have no gimmick. Your gimmick is your music. Your gimmick is the fact that you can really, really play and really, really sing and work very hard at building your band over years and years and becoming excellent musicians and giving people what they want. I find you to be an incredibly positive band, especially going to see you live, incredibly positive. But you mentioned that your band has a message. If you had to say exactly what that message was, what would it be?
Difficult question, but I think there's that positivity. It's that, we realize that music is the soundtrack to your life, and music is something that can really affect other people with, and we've seen that over the years, and we've gotten message from people, my mom has cancer, you really helped me get through this, or I was thinking about committing suicide, your music really helped me. And at the beginning, we were just doing it for fun and just writing music and just doing what we liked, and what we liked was, that message that some of reggae had that was very positive, very uplifting, a little spiritual, but just feel-good music was the main thing, And so we started writing that. But then once we got to the point where we realized it was a platform to where you could change people's lives and you could affect people's lives, then we started taking it a little bit more serious and realizing that was our message and that was our goal. And our main goal was for people to come to our shows and let go of everything, whether it's good or bad in their lives, and just have the best time they possibly can.
That's awesome. And I wildly recommend checking out the show. I've probably seen you about 20 times at this stage in the game. And I get goosebumps every single time. Never get bored. Always enjoy it. And it's just you can't help but get caught up in the moment. And that Dirty Heads moment will be happening the 18th through the 20th of September in Del Mar for KAABOO. And we can't wait to see you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Jared from Dirty Heads, we will see you in September, and happy 420, my friend. We're rocking a 5-3.